Well, well, well. Favorite day of the week for some people in this chat.
I have plenty of time.
Let me do the clicking. As if it matters. Yo, free pool? Sure, why not? Any other free pool? Oh. QB? Nope. Okay, now I need to go item and this. Bro. Yes. So road jack. There's a difference between if chat was right or road jack was right. And I'm always correct. Hey, what about Nexus, bro? It wasn't just you. It wasn't just you that said gonna get better in the next chapter. Why would they give me some stupid bullshit? I am here. Hello, Nexus. What else? This. Black gold beer? Bear, not beer. Would have been beer. I so much don't care about any of this clicking, I'll be honest. Want me to click this just because I got the stupid collectible that most likely does nothing. Honor medal? Hey, alright. Oh, 6th year. Cool. In Valics literally stopped last time before the peak node. God damn it, that was so triggering. We'll see it today. Can't read forever, man. I can't read. This. Why not? Oh. Okay. This Vuva puzzles. Alright. Triggering the Nexus is dangerous because the Enfield is using it for power. Why is it dangerous? And isn't the Enfield having power a good thing? 17th, and I was hoping the previous one was the last one. Okay, what are you guys saying before I dip into words? The only peak node in the first part of chapter 17 is the last one. Peak darkness, of course. Wow. Wow. Okay, next. This was This was his PGR before WUVA. To be fair, yeah, tell Mako that. He hates PGR and does not respect PGR, but he plays WUVA. To 7 PM. Also, they came back. It has been 32 hours since she left the conservation area of City 43. PGR finally makes it back to this place, her leg fractured and broken. Liv wants to speak, but her words are lost before they can reach her trembling lips. Her leg is in pain, but compared to that, what she feels in her chest is even worse. It is like something got stuck there and is pulling at her pain nerves. No matter how many times she checks, the result is the same. The boy in front of her has grown cold and lifeless. The sunlight at noon is warm. A gentle breeze echoes through the central courtyard and the empty halls like a playful child. The exit to freedom is so close yet so far to reach for those trapped here. Aye. The sorrow and sadness she tried so hard to bury inside her heart over these past few days are too much to bear. She can no longer hold it in. Her mind crumbles, letting out all her most emotional feelings. She hates herself. The skinny border collie circles around his dead master, licking the blood that has run dry and turned black, but the wounds will never heal again. He turns around and touches Liv's hand with his nose, telling her to use her bandage. There's nothing. The girl dressed in a white suit looks down at the item in her hand. It is a gift that comes from her perilous journey over the past 31 hours. Back then, there was still hope. Making it through countless collapsed buildings lying in rubble while surrounded by the corrupted and hetero creatures, 2 overloaded ambulances drove for 13 hours before they reached the conservation area of City 46. Just as Lucia predicted, the armed scavengers living in this place are not at all friendly. After some exchanges using violent forces and firepower, their leader finally agreed to have a friendly conversation with the constructs. Get out of here. Constructs are not welcomed here. This conservation area is our promised land. We kept our side of the bargain and rebuilt it, but Babylonia took the liberty and gave it to someone else. Now that we have finally reclaimed what is rightfully ours, you filthy dogs still refuse to let us be? No, we just want to find shelter for the wounded people in these cars. I'm sick and tired of your excuses. They told us last time they had to prioritize those in need due to limited resources. And guess what happened? We were driven away and forced to rebuild another place. No, that's not what we want. We were indeed under attack by a barrage of hetero creatures. We will never take advantage of your space. Please listen to us and give us a chance. It was a fade to black. This was his PGR, Peak Darkness, huh? Yeah, I don't like the sound of that, I'm gonna be honest. That's so emo. Yeah, I was just praising last week PGR that finally has a chapter that is not edgy for the sake of being edgy, and this guy tells me Peak Darkness, bro. Being a few minutes late to save someone as a doctor, that has to hurt. Minutes, wasn't it hours? 32 hours? 31? He died at 31? Liv tries to explain the many benefits if everyone helps each other, but the scavengers won't listen to reason. In the end, what makes them compromise is the hetero creature disaster that took place in City 043. In exchange, all the constructs but the Grey Ravens must remain there to stand guard and protect City 46 from the potential threat of more hetero creatures. Since the threat is real, I will insist no longer. I hope we can survive together, but when things get out of hand, we'll have to save our own skins first. Bring your casualties inside, and don't forget your promises. Rest assured, I never go back on my words. After helping the casualties and refugees settle down and handing over their duties in the conservation area of City 46 to the other guards, Grey Raven returns once again in City 43. There's like no distance. After the problems are resolved, Grey Raven returns once again to City 43. But what awaits them isn't the flat wasteland they used to see in the outskirt area of City 43. Instead, they see despair in crimson color. This time, the red tide isn't as overwhelming as the one they encountered in City 75, but it is more than enough to submerge the outskirts of City 43. Thankfully, the conservation area is located on high ground and safe from the threat, for now. We don't have enough protective measures, we must proceed with caution. It's okay. I know an underground tunnel. It was a metro system abandoned halfway throughout its development. Many corrupted workers still remain there. This can be dangerous and we'll have to take a detour, but it is absolutely doable, and we will make it there in time. You know what's funnier than 31? 67? If nothing went wrong, they would have safely made it through the red tide and back to the conservation area in 3 hours. But there is no would have. Without the commandant's access, they have no way of knowing in which city the twins are. And when they appear within the detecting range of Liv's sensors, Grey Raven realizes the incarnation of despair and catastrophe has already made it across City 42 and arrived at this very place. Ugly. I think they want to cross the red tide and they are approaching the conservation area. Kali, Lena, Stanley and Matches are still there in the conservation area. We have to stop them. We cannot directly make it through the red tide, but if we take a detour, we'll be too late. Let's draw their attention. That is the only way to stop them from getting inside the conservation area. Alright. And we have sound effects, but not voice acting. So annoying. Standing right next to the red tide, Lee shoots at the twins from 3.8 kilometers away several times, but the distance proves to be a problem. Bro, you shooting with pistols like 4 kilometers? Are you dumb? He's using pistols, right? He doesn't have other weapons, at least gameplay wise. But the distance proves to be a problem, as those shots fail to land on their targets. If only Snipe or Wanshi were here. Wait a minute, I think they are turning around and heading for us. Have we been spotted? They are indeed approaching us. Perhaps they heard our voices? Not the gun? Another possibility is those creatures have learned, or should I say stolen, the movement detecting technologies from a certain construct. In any case, we have managed to draw our target's attention. Let's split up and retreat. We must not engage them in a fight. Alright. You go that way. Leave, I'll carry you. The three of them immediately jump off the car and run off in different directions under the cover of the night. The twins seem to have noticed this streak and stopped for a few seconds to rethink their next move. Then they imitate Grey Raven's tactic. The male twin turns to chase Lee as the female twin follows closely behind Liv and Lucia. The pursuit continues for hours. They hunt Grey Raven with such ease that it is more like they are playing with their prey. We cannot shake them off. I don't think they are even going at full speed. What must we do to escape? Lee, what's your status? Same as yours. It is still on my tail. Though they manage to distract the twins from the conservation area, they are also trapping themselves in a tricky situation at the same time. Just when the three of them are exhausted, desperate, and about to give up, they receive a call from the Babylonia HQ. Seizing their one chance to shake off the twins, the members of Grey Raven agree to participate in the first testing program of the Omega prototype. Starting from there, they are caught in a fierce fight where bullets fly and blades clash. What? Alright, that was a fade to black. Then he knows about 67. It was a few minutes, if I remember correctly. The trip took 31 hours total. She arrived right after the kid died. The text just said his blood turned black, bro, and he's cold. It took a while, okay? The male twin used to not smile, but now he's smiling so ugly. Used to? It's literally the second time we're seeing them. The three of them suffer different levels of injuries. Liv's leg, previously bandaged and supported by a splint, fractures completely. She can barely move without Lucia helping her. Dang. When they finally return, it is all too late. The three of them split up to search for survivors in City 43, but Vanessa and Bambinata are nowhere to be found. Tired and wounded, Liv rushes back to the conservation area only to find the three people who stayed behind have passed away. All the deaths that Liv witnessed before didn't make her indifferent or cold-hearted. She regrets her inability to save lives. If only I had the ability to change all this, or had I been able to take them with us, I would have been able to save them. Kali, Lina, Stanley, Vanessa, Bambinata, all of them. But there is no would have. Meanwhile, the researchers and decision makers of Babylonia are waiting anxiously, dying to know if their hope has borne any fruits. The mission is complete, glad we made it. Seems Grey Raven has enough strength to handle the twins. Now, if they had enough strength, they wouldn't be driven to the corner. Besides, now that is rare. Who said? Thank you, narrator. Had we given Grey Raven more time to prepare, they would have done better, and the result would have also been better. But there is no would have. Cool trick. Devastated by the disaster and haunted by our enemies, neither the victims nor our Grey Raven had time to react. Those maniacs wouldn't wait either. Show me the records. Nicola takes the terminal from Celica. Together, the two of them look at its data, their eyebrows furrowed. In the footage, Grey Raven barely managed to complete the rescue mission at the crash site and throw the Omega prototype at the male twin. Coming into contact with the cube, his skin started to fester, melt and peel off. Like a human, he wailed and watched as the skin fell to the ground. That's all the damage we can do. So this Omega prototype is just a cube. But it seems his punishing virus was warped. Recycle the weapon. We'll do another test around on the female twin. Okay. After an ugly fight, they finally landed. This could have been a game, by the way. I just want to point that out, okay? No funny memes, I'm just saying. After an ugly fight, they finally landed the Omega prototype on the female twin as well. The same festering process occurred, this time eating away her hands and chest. Not only that, the festering wounds caused by this weapon didn't heal shortly afterward. We have the data we need. The two tests show pretty much the same result. Our mission is done, fall back. He turns around only to find Liv's leg is broken. Liv, we gotta get out of here. He grabs Liv by her hand and uses the thruster to take flight, quickly pulling away from those two extremely dangerous threats. Fly? Fly? The twins learn and adapt very fast, but they are not smart enough to see through the tricks of our Omega weapon yet. Recorded data shows the twins watched as Liv and the others left. They were looking at each other's wounds and making twisted, horrifying sounds. Don't worry about me. I'm not leaving you here. Who are they imitating this time? After the two went out of sight, the twins finally started to observe the Omega prototype dropped on the ground. I have to admit, these twins are way dumber than the Nier Automata twin. They no longer made physical contact. Instead, they found tools from their surroundings and used them to touch the cube in front of them. Before long, this Omega prototype Hassan once called Hope stopped functioning because it was both overloaded and ravaged by stones. The record stopped here. Are they still following Grey Raven? No, Asimov believes they are now wary of the Omega prototype, which is why they have also given up on pursuing Grey Raven. But I don't think they... No, it's not. He was right. This experiment did help Grey Raven get out of that dangerous situation. What happened to our team that helped deliver the Omega prototype? Grey Raven tried to save them. Of 4 survived and 6 died. They only managed to retrieve 1 supply box. With these ugly numbers, the two know this isn't a fair deal. They sacrificed more than what they could rescue. But they didn't send down this cube, the Omega prototype, just to rescue people. Sacrifices are inevitable. Had we faltered, we would have suffered heavier losses. Have we delivered the data and records to Asimov? Yes, he confirmed it. Our Omega prototype does have the power to absorb the punishing virus, and I actually heard the twins. Dan feels relieved. Right, fade to black. But he's smiling, so meanwhile SpongeBob card would go hard here. Who really likes cubes? The game cubes? GameCube is a big console. Never had a console in my life. By the way, the cube bots in WoWa were first introduced in an obstacle avoiding minigame in PGR. They just threw stones on a cube, huh? I forgot that. Yeah, well, didn't seem very important. Their logo is a cube too. Yeah, and their company name sounds like the evil company from PGR. Much as Barks. This node is also pretty long. Just when Liv is about to fall down deeper into a vortex of regrets, a loud barking sound interrupts her thoughts. Matches. Upon hearing his name, the border collie sits next to Liv like a good boy. You are the only one left. The only one left. Should she take him with her? The people are biased. They don't like matches. Perhaps she should let him go free for his own good. But he might not live safely out there. The enemies wandering in the outside world might attack matches, including those humans. Liv doesn't know what to do, but then she notices something white in the boy's breast pocket. What's this? Her trembling hand takes out a note stained with blood from the breast pocket. She opens the note and sees a pair of wings. The lines are thick, as if they are going to penetrate this paper. Her fingers move along the pencil lines and flip the paper over, and she finds the scribbled message left by the boy. I'm worried about Matches. By the time you return, Matches is still here. Please take him with you. I don't regret leaving that vehicle. I wanted to help him. If you see me like this, please don't be sad. The fact that you have kept your promise and returned this makes me happy. Thank you. I'm afraid I must go now. So it's one more. Not over. Their logo is a cube too. Never had a console before too. Actually only used emulators. Yo, Lime. Hello, Lime. Good luck in the PGR. I'm going to watch your early streams of this game. I was full of hope back then, Lime. I'ma tell you that. Thanks, everyone. Have fun. Next one. Also a reading node. Liv properly buries Lindsay, Kali, Lena, and Stanley. Then she takes Matches and leaves Conservation Area 43. Along the journey, she remains silent. The voices of self-doubt overwhelm her mind. It isn't until she meets up with her companions that she finally picks herself up. Upon returning to Conservation Area 46, Liv gives the blood-stained note back to its owner. Really? The boy has found his brother among the armed refugees. Holding the note in his arms, he starts crying. But just as she expected, the people are hostile against the border collie. They want Liv to take him outside. Will I truly be able to change all this? Whether it is Matches and Stanley or the other memories buried deeper in her mind. The lives she couldn't save are like the sand in an hourglass, falling down to the bottom as every second passes. Even when she does catch a grain of sand, it will eventually meet the same tragic fate, just like matches. Just like how Stanley didn't want Fantine have a child. No one can change this world, even survival is just extending the pain. Couldn't even help Commandant. At the thought of the unconscious Commandant, Liv starts to get overwhelmed by grief and despair. If Valics never wakes up, that means the mistake they made in the Puglia Forest Park ruins has caused the Commandant's life. Sorry, she cries, man. But her apology and guilt can no longer reach that human. If Valics did wake up, what would the Commandant have told her? A long time ago, she too apologized for her inability. Back then, Valics said something to her. About yourself, we need to change the Commandant's name, man, it's strange. It is meaningful. Even the smallest change and help can make a difference, although they may not seem so for the time being. It's only meaningless if you give up. Upon recalling this familiar voice, Liv feels much more at ease and calm. I must not give up yet, I have to push just a little further. She notes to herself, trying to recollect the strength to fight and help. But before Liv can shake off the negative thoughts, she hears a commotion from outside. No, it's armed refugee A. It's Johnny and the others. Hello, A. The armed refugee holds a blood-stained cloth in his hand, struggling to catch his breath. That died before he could finish his sentence. I don't even know where they are. Leave! Lucia wants to remind Liv, but realizes that she has already started the search. This is bad. There are only a few targets in the search area, and they are all severely infected by punishing virus. So they are all corrupted? They might not be within the search range. Perhaps the worst case scenario comes to her mind. But she doesn't want to say it out loud. When did they leave? About 10 hours ago, shortly after you left. They took Fantine and drove your car to go outside. Why did they bring Fantine along? She said she had been pregnant for 39 weeks and had to find supplies to get prepared for the delivery. I tried to stop her, but she said the others didn't know what supplies she needed, so she had to be there herself. It has been 10 hours, I wonder if we can find them even if we split up the search. There's no need to waste your strength. They brought a pregnant woman with them. Dante said something happened to Johnny and died in front of him. The only person who's still MIA instead of KIA is that woman. But we should go, Liv. Bark. Patches, you want to come along? Bark, bark. Yes, take this dog with you too. He would have just wasted our food anyway, if we didn't turn him into food first. Don't be sad, Liv. Vera told me border collie are very clever. Oh, so you're that tied with Vera now, Lucia? You're that tied, huh? You're just like best friends now, huh? Just might help us find our target. She knows Liv is still blaming herself for what happened. Before Liv gets overwhelmed by grief again, Lucia quickly brings her attention back to the task at hand. Do you know where we can find Fantine's luggage? Fantine's luggage? I want to let Matches sniff it and remember her smell. Yes, I'll bring it here right away. Let's wind the time back to 10 hours ago. Grey Raven hasn't returned to Conservation Area 46. Search for supplies and get prepared for her delivery. Fantine gives a heads up to the constructs stationed in this conservation area and leaves with Johnny and the others. It's not Johnny, it's Johnny. Johnny doesn't have the H. Johnny? Whatever, it's Johnny and the others. Protected by her companions, she manages to collect all the required supplies earlier than she expects. Being pregnant, she cannot move around too much, so she sits on the bench in the mall square, waiting. Looking at the setting sun, she rubs her hand against the blanket she just found and checks the supplies she will need when she delivers her child. Yeah, everything is here. She looks up into the distance and thinks about the future of her child as she waits for her companions to return. I don't know if it's a good idea to bring you into this world. She thinks about the harsh, cruel world and ponders the question. If only you could answer that question for me, my child, that would be nice. Before meeting Stanley, someone had asked her the same question. Back then, she didn't hesitate to give a positive answer. Fantine grew up in an environment where she was constantly hungry and on the run, but even so, she considered herself a happy, lucky girl. She was loved by her family and her husband, and she wanted to share that feeling with her child. The two of them had planned out a future for their baby and worked very hard to make it happen. She remembers how she and her husband were crying tears of joy when they heard the news that they could stay in the conservation area. But everything came crumbling down after that disaster in the Puglia Forest Park ruin. Those who once loved her so much are now nothing but memories of the past. If things get worse, she won't even be able to protect herself, let alone her child. Is it really a good idea to bring our child into this world? She has lost count of how many times she ponders this question after that conversation with Stanley. Everyone is gone. There's no home for me to go back to. If I lose this child as well... Tears start rolling in her eyes as Fantine thinks about the possibility that she has to live her life alone. Love goes both ways. She wants to love her child and be loved back. Like I'm doing this for my own good. It is a selfish act to bring a new life into this cruel world just to not feel lonely and feel loved. That is not fair for this child. But how can we know for sure that this child will hate this world? Short and eventful as it is, her 27 years of life are beautiful thanks to her loved ones and especially her parents. No one knows what the future holds, so who should make this decision? As Fantine is thinking, a somewhat familiar voice comes from the corner of the alley. Run. Now. She looks toward where the raspy voice comes from and sees a staggering heterosapien. Fantine, run. Now. And she got shook. What is a heterosapien doing here, and why does it speak like a human? But Fantine has no time to think. Fortunately, its sound has caught Fantine's attention and she runs away before it is too late. Help! She has read a lot of books and knows that running at 39 weeks of pregnancy could lead to early labor. She is not ready for seeing the baby yet, but at the moment she has no choice but to run as fast as she can while holding her belly. God, please give me a little bit more time. Her pain gradually increasing, Fantine sprints with all her might toward the familiar street ahead. Hello IA, now she thinks about not being a good idea to have a kid. She already been through this. And Matches barks. The heterosapien we defeated just now had the same sound as Johnny. Too late. No news from Fantine yet. Let's keep searching. Okay. How long was she running and how long did she pass out? How long did she passed out? 10 hours or more? Fantine has no idea. All she knows is that the moon has risen and the sun has set, concealing the blood stains on the road. The child in her arms, who should have been born in a clean room, slipped into this world unprepared and landed in the mud. Holy shit. Hello there, little one. It's a girl. It's a girl. Warm blood keeps flowing out from her body and she feels colder and colder from the loss of blood. Doesn't have to know what is going on exactly, she can tell. There is no time to lose. Fantine trembles as she picks up the baby covered in blood and swaddles her in a soft blanket. Sorry, we have no choice. She struggles to reach out her hands to the most vulnerable part of the baby. The baby's neck is so soft and so delicate. Strangle it, and this little life, who has not yet seen the world, will have a quick and painless death. You don't have to choke it, bro. You have to slap it on the ass so it starts crying. Are you dumb, bro? This little life will not have to wait in the long cold night for help, nor will she have to face the terrible unknown. But it shouldn't be like this. She knows that children come into the world through their parents, not from them. You can give love to a child, but not ideas. The parents is the bow, and the child is the arrow of life that comes from the bowstring. Oh. This bow woman has long since understood her role, but still she is determined to destroy her arrow. She's determined? I have to make this choice for you, sweetie. You hate mommy, right? Sorry. Is it because she regrets her decision back then? Does she regret meeting her husband and conceiving this little life? Would she have lived a safe life if she hadn't been pregnant? Maybe, but I wouldn't have been as happy as I am now. Are you really happy? The first answer that comes to Fantine's mind is neither yes or no. Before she can say anything, her hands betray her in a tremor and pat the baby instead. As if knowing her mother's grief, the baby responds with loud cries announcing the arrival of a new life. I'm such a cowardly and selfish mother. Having you in this world is neither my happiness nor my torment, but my longing. The nearer death draws, the more she cannot part with this little life. In the cold moonlight, Fantine huddles in despair and makes a prayer to a being she has never believed in before. Please save this child, let her live. Please give her enough time to choose wisely. Afterward, as if to answer her prayers, a loud bark comes from a short distance away. A pink figure comes and takes the glimmer of hope from Fantine's hands. Fantine! What's going on? This is postpartum bleeding. Liv carries a lot of medical supplies with her. She had thought about the situation of blood loss, but she shouted in the crowd and no one answered, so she had to come on her own to help. He's pretty big. I thought he's smaller. Matches. We can't do a blood transfusion now, and even if I can stop the bleeding. Thank you, Liv. Liv doesn't want to hear thank you in this situation. No, I haven't done anything yet. Then, can I ask you for one thing? Yes, I'm listening. Take my baby away. Please let her live. Help her grow up and make sure she can think for herself and make her own decision. Liv looks at the baby in her arms once more. It is a miracle that this little girl is alive and kicking. Only after she is certain that her promise is not an empty one does Liv nod to Fantine. No problem. Thank you, Liv. The dying Fantine breathes a sigh of relief with a smile on her pale face. When she grows up, please tell her Mommy and Daddy brought her into the world. Because we thought this world was as beautiful as it was turbulent. We would love to tell her about it ourselves, but we can't. We're useless. Sorry. Tears roll down her smiling face. So, if in the future she tries her best to get what she wants, but still hates the world, tell her to go find Mommy and Daddy. What? Fantine. It's okay, life is not supposed to be a bondage, but a force for good. The choice is hers. I want to name her Cosette. What do you think? Cosette? A beautiful name. Good. I don't regret giving birth to my baby girl. Been looking forward to seeing her. Now I see her, but I won't be there for her anymore. Fantine closes her eyes slowly. Her smile does not fade with her life, as if she is still repeating her last words to Liv. I don't regret giving birth to my baby girl. Do you also not regret dying? Why? The boy's answer was written on paper. He wanted to help others. The woman's answer is pronounced. She gave birth to a life she held dear. The border collie sniffs the meeting of life and death here and makes a sad whimper. Black. I thought you were going to play ZZ. Hello, Lauren. Well, Tuesday is a special day for this channel. It's the day when I read and Ish. I'ma continue, but both the boy and the woman, in their different situation and with their different beliefs, made the same choice to sacrifice themselves for the sake of another life. There was this boy who abhorred the future and despised life he saved. Abhorred the future and the despised life he saved. There was also this woman who embraced the future and a much loved life she gave birth to. However faint the hope appeared, they both tried to stop the world from spiraling into a calamity. At this moment, Liv finally understands what conviction and expectations are all about. Even the smallest change and help can make a difference, although they may not seem so for the time being. That's right. Life is so short, but that doesn't make it meaningless. Every life leaves its unique mark on the world, passing itself on to the next life. Embracing the death of oneself and others is the true meaning of life. Live things. Death gives life from one being to another being, to birds, beasts, insects, and flowers, and those lives in turn will give their lives to others through death. Life breeds life. Without death, life would not continue. The teary-eyed Liv is holding tiny Cosette and matches tightly. Yes, death is not an internal departure. Live on in those people they cherish. Even if we may never see each other again, even if it makes us feel sad and regretful, I will carry on despite the pain and never give up. With her sorrows vented, Liv feels nothing but resolve. I can make a difference. Whether it is human or construct, animal or insect, it is the diversity of life that makes the world so beautiful. That's why Commandant said, even the smallest change and help can make a difference, although they may not seem so for the time being. I'll protect the hope that you gave your lives for. I won't let you down. I won't give up no matter how insignificant my contribution seems. Just like I don't give up until matches help me find Fantine and Cosette. Every life and every little effort count. We can make it. We can make it. Wow, that hey, whatever, I guess. Nothing changed, huh? So this is done. Finally. Christ. Doesn't she have her leg broken still? What can I do now? Well, I need to keep treating the wounded. What else can I do? There are people who get injured every single day and supplies are scarce. If the source of the catastrophe is removed, all the problems will be solved, right? On her way back to Conservation Area 46, Liv is reminded of the Omega prototype. She hadn't paid much attention to it during the test because of the hasty procedure, but in retrospect, the power of the weapon is the key of saving the world. If we could test it again with adequate preparation, we would surely achieve better results, right? But a weapon test is dangerous and hurt people. With Cosette in her arms, Liv is hesitating for quite a while before she finally asks. Yeah, wasn't Lucia near her anyway, cause Liv kinda doesn't have a leg right now? Lucia, do you remember the Omega prototype we tested before? Yes, I was thinking about that too. I remember it could absorb the punishing virus, something that had never happened before. About that, Liv tells Lucia what she thinks. Apply for the testing program again? Thinks about it for a moment. Good idea. The previous test was too hasty. If we're better prepared this time, we'll definitely get better results. Once we eliminate the punishing virus, we'll solve many other problems too. Yes, I remember the look on Lee's face when he saw the test data. I'm sure he wants to try again too. Our top priority now is to find a way out of the predicament. We've got to be more proactive. That makes the two of us. Can I apply for it? Are you sure? Liv rarely offers to do that, but Lucia smiles and is not surprised at all. Can't wait to get it done, right? Yes, waiting a morning can't change anything. Been thinking, Liv, you're really a strong girl. Unlike those who keep to themselves, you care about what you and other people feel. Even if it's overwhelming for you sometimes, you can get over it and pull yourself together very soon. That is a very good observation. Lucia, go and do what you want to do. Lee and I will give you our full support, and when your application is approved, the three of us will go for the test together. This new... Bro, they're just so perfect, all of them. And this new weapon will definitely play an important role in reclaiming Earth. And if we can find a solution, we'll help everybody out of this misery. Sure. Smile. In Conservation Area 46, Liv tends to all the patients in need of treatment as usual. Since the leader of the armed refugees was informed of the story of Cosette, she stops complaining about matches. When all her patients get their treatment, Liv takes Cosette, who is in a swaddle, to the cubicle of Commandant Valics. Bro, I don't like kids, bro. Changes Cosette's nappy and feeds her some nutritional powder until the baby falls asleep. Then Liv puts Cosette in the makeshift cradle next to the Commandant's bed. She gets up and carefully checks the Commandant while pressing the comms button. She thinks it will take a while before somebody answers, but she hears a familiar voice immediately. Hello, Liv. Celica, there's something I want to ask you. Is there a follow-up test of that weapon we tested earlier? What's the plan? I want to apply for further tests. What happened? You look so much more determined than before. Nothing happened. I just want to do what I can to get us out of the predicament. Liv, I mean, if there was a mission that would get us out of the predicament but would most likely pay the highest price, you do it? The highest price? In the safety of Lucia, Lee, and Commandant, I certainly wouldn't do it. No, it's about your own safety. Safety? That's right. Although Celica keeps emphasizing the if, it doesn't look like it is just a hypothesis. Liv used to feel powerless. Sadness and regret can't change anything, so she decides to move on no matter what. But at the same time, she is also aware of the fact that as long as the punishing virus is still around, the problems will drag on. What if the punishing virus is gone? The Omega weapon can make that happen. That's what everybody has been waiting for. Liv knows she can't let this opportunity slip away. What if she has to die to make it happen? Liv remains silent for a moment, but eventually she smiles in the face of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If it really worked, I would do it. Seriously, you really think so? Yes. So many people died right in front of me, and I could do nothing to help, she smiles, by the way. Now everybody, the task force and humans, are trapped in this catastrophe, and no one will be spared, including the elite squads. If it's just a matter of time before the catastrophe kills us all, why not do something that promises to make a difference? I'd love to give it a go. Celica, I don't want to see anyone die anymore. Actually, about this, the president hasn't decided whether to give you the call or not. Are you alone now? There are only Commandant, me, and this little baby here. A baby? Is it a refugee's child? Is the mother dead? Yes. Valics is still in a coma? Yes. The signal is off for a moment before Celica's face reappears on the terminal. I'll transfer you to the Parliament Hall. Please keep your environment quiet. Alright. Environment. Noticing the seriousness in Celica's expression, Liv turns back to make sure Cosette is sleeping before nodding to Celica. Celica's face blurs on the dark blue screen. Fade back. IA's crying? Don't cry, IA. People died, but Liv said nothing happened. We're all good. She can move over, so can you. This with music and being animated would have felt close to final lesson. No, it wouldn't, because Liv went through it pretty quick, so no need to animate this. Not gonna be here for long. How are you enjoying the chapter so far, Valics? Nothing fucking happened. Missed a lot on chapter 17. Final still's ongoing. Final? Oh my, beat the final of those finals. Valics reading stream? Fucking music, man. I'm gonna go check on my cat, be right back. Here's some funny gifs for this sad music, how about that? But Liv got over it. What happened, Liv? Nothing, Celica. Oh good. Be right back. I'm back. Oh, what a moment to leave us. Well, better be good, man. Better be good, because so far I'm thinking, why the fuck did I spend all that time reading all those sad stories? Moonlight Sonata? Yeah, it does sound like it. The PGR. BPN-08 Live Grey Raven Task Force. On behalf of the Babylonia Parliament, I send an invitation to you. The cold mechanical female voice echoes in the darkness. It is uttered by nobody, yet it can be anybody. In the war against the punishing virus, humans have never won a true victory. According to the calculation of Gestalt, no one will survive this catastrophe if effective measures are not taken. Thank you. Thank you, ChatGPT. At the outbreak of the catastrophe in the Puglia Forest Park ruins, the Science Council had already made a preliminary recreation of the technology recorded in the Omega file. We managed to retrieve and analyze the test data of the Omega prototype. to the contact of the Grey Raven with the unidentified twins. The weapon's effectiveness in absorbing the punishing virus has been confirmed, and with its help, the infected mechanoids and constructs can recover too. Even the corrupted. Due to technical constraints, it is not yet possible to achieve all the research objectives at this stage. VPN-08, we need you to support this technology and put the Omega weapon into use as soon as possible. What do you want me to do? Become a carrier for the Omega weapon. A carrier? Use the latest specialized frame and its properties to attract the punishing virus, allowing the virus to pass through your mind and become completely absorbed by the Omega weapon. They're giving you a new frame, that's all, right? Through my mind? That's the only way to maximize the effect of the Omega weapon. This is a dangerous task because we can't control the rate of attraction of the virus, and once it exceeds the rate of absorption by the Omega weapon, you'll get infected completely. In addition to that, there is also a high risk that your frame won't be able to reboot again or use recall due to the symptoms such as mind deviation and contamination. But in order to reclaim Earth and go back to our common home, we must do whatever it takes to overcome the predicament. VPN-08, humanity needs you. Will the punishing virus really be cleared and infected individuals recovered? This will be your first attempt at this technology. At this stage, there remains a lot of uncertainties. VPN-08, we need a pioneer. Fine, someone has to take the first step. Determination. VPN-08, does that mean you agree to our invitation? Yes. Please confirm that you can't quit the mission once you take it. Confirm. Please confirm that you are aware of the dangers of this mission. At the end of the experiment, your chance of survival is only 7.23%. And she confirms it? Right, bro. VPN-08, on behalf of the Babylonia Parliament and humanity, thank you for your service. Please tell me what to do next. The hall is solemn and silent. A middle-aged man with an erect posture gets up and stands in front of the table. What? We're not opening the window, bro. Did you drink? Did you eat? So? I think he also doesn't like this chapter, guys. Grump Valics, you have no idea, bro. This game got me again, man. I have returned from work. Did I miss anything? Oh, I wanna talk. Take Commandant Valics back to Babylonia. After this talk, I'll send out a notice to all constructs stranded on the ground to explain the situation. After I get their consent, you'll be escorted back by them. There is an undestroyed underground base in CT-47 where some transports and an airship are stored. Along with the last of our supplies, they're all we've got now. I'll let you open the base. We'll talk about what to do next when you return safe. Hold on, I have one more request. And face to black. Please let me take a baby with me. It's a good idea to move a baby to space, a newborn. I don't think it's very safe. While Liv is speaking to Babylonia, the constructs that had been transferred from CT-43 are talking to the constructs that had survived the Omega prototype delivery mission. Seeing Lucia and Lee walk into the lounge, one of the constructs jumps up from his chair. So you guys finished your work now? To her surprise, Lucia sees a familiar face from the initial annihilation of the heterohive mother among the 4 surviving constructs. When we got out of the transport, we didn't even have time to say hi to Captain Lucia and the other members of Grey Raven. Exactly. Hello, I'm Percy. I met with Lucia and Captain Chrome in CT-75 before. I've heard Lucia mention you guys. I don't remember. You must be Captain Percy. You gave the locator to Commandant, right? Right, it's when they met Vonnegut, I think. Right. How are your injuries? We are all fine. My people are now taking a break inside the cab and want to check on them. Not now, let me take a good rest. Why did you come down in the first place? We volunteered. Too many people have died. The strong have important work to do and the rest have their own concerns. At least we volunteers are not forced to come here. Besides, Captain said we were blessed to have survived the accident last time, so we need to make good use of our luck, right? Reina is the truth. We survived again. I'll tell you a little secret. Captain is the only one who has survived all those missions, so he... Hey... Well, strong people usually have problems like that. Come on, I've got your back here. Reina lets out a loud laugh while patting Percy's back. Her laugh is so reassuring and relaxing for these wary and battle-hardened fighters. During this brief respite, the terminals of all the constructs start to beat. As Liv leaves the dimly lit cubicle, she notices that all the constructs are watching their terminals. Bro, what? I'm not opening the goddamn window. Come here. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too loud? Gonna read with me, bro. The familiar voice of the president comes from the screen, wrapping up his short speech. I had no idea that the Omega weapon could be incorporated into a frame, but such a specialized frame would be a serious burden on one's mind, just like Chrome's glory. Yeah, don't Chrome already do that? Do it on Chrome, man. There is no misinformation in the Parliament's announcement. They just told leave and only leave the worst case scenario. Yes, 7.23% chance of survival, bro. She's like, yeah, sure. There are way many other frames that can do that. Liv, did you see the message? President Hassan said they wanted you to use the new specialized frame. Well, actually they told me they had the plan because I volunteered to do the test. Miles. President Hassan is very concerned about the commandant's condition. He would like to take the commandant to Babylonia for thorough treatment. As long as I can go back, I'll take the commandant with me. I see, the commandant does need to go back to Babylonia. Just that. Liv, are you sure he can do it? Specialized frames are nothing new to us, but with the commandant still in a coma, I'm a bit worried about you. Lucia? Lucia looks terribly worried, which makes Liv a bit anxious too. But we finally have a chance to reverse the catastrophe. Liv tries not to show too much affection. If Lucia and Lee knew the consequences of this mission, they would have done all they could to stop her. Alright, now if you put it like this, it makes more sense, alright. Really bothers me, I need to go with you. Lucia looks at Lee, who nods without saying a word. Alright, the four of us go together then. Great, Captain, we're going back. This is a voluntary escort mission, not a return mission. We might die on the way. I'm aware of that, but I'm sure we'll make it. I want to be an escort too, even though we're very likely to be killed. Still, this is the only way to return to Babylonia. Besides, without leave, I would have been killed already. That goes for me too. Everybody in this room is alive thanks to leave. Yo, new sprite, hell yeah. Alright then, who's going to? Everyone in the room raises their hands. Thank you. You don't have to thank us. Sandra is interrupted by a beep from her terminal. Sandra, are you still with the Grey Raven? Yes. Both of them are Sandra's teammates and are in charge of different areas during the mission. They have been keeping in touch through comms. How's it going? All 7 of us are going to check over there. How many of you are leaving? We're all going to. Like there are going to be a lot of people. Also a new sprite. Why are you all joining the mission? It's not really about the mission. Do you know that the underground base in CT-47 was left behind by Kurono? And there remains a lot of supplies as well as transports. Don't know why they suddenly figured it out and decided to give the Parliament permission. Parliament now wants to use the supplies in the base for disaster relief. That's why so many people are going to City 47. And we can take this opportunity to go back to Babylonia. It's now or never. I agree. If you're going to, we'll meet up in the underground base in City 47, okay? Yes, see you there. Cuts off the call. Hold on guys, I really appreciate it, but we promised the people here to protect them. If we all live, who is going to take care of them? I see your point, but the hetero creature barrage is coming. I can't do detection and I'm no match for those creatures. I still have the manual on taking care of the wounded you wrote for me, so I can work as a nurse here. But if anything danger is attacking this place, I won't be able to help. That's right, so what should we do now? Shall we stay? Lucia double checks the action plan. She wants to protect everybody. The best option is for her and Lee to stay. But a strange feeling comes to her mind, as if she has neglected something very important. She frowns. The last time she felt that way was when she was on her way to capture the Ascendant by order of Revenge. Is this just a coincidence? Whoa, what are we dropping here, game? Hold up. Why are we... what? Why she remembers him? Lucia was wrong. I have a bad feeling about this. Lucia? Does overworrying mean mistrust? Liv calls Lucia in a pleading tone. Lucia relents. Sorry, I was overreacting. Alright, let's make a plan. The president said there were plenty of supplies in the base, so I'm sure everybody wants to go to get their hands on them. We're pretty close. Do you guys remember this is a gameplay node? Crazy, right? We're pretty close to the underground base and we have plenty of time to do round trips. So I suggest we take everyone there in the different groups. Okay, sounds good. Fuck. The underground base is going to be bustling. I know, supplies are scarce these days. People will be flocking there. I'll talk to their leader about the base. Okay, it's not going to be a dangerous trip, but we need escorts. Just to be on the safe side, I'll stay for now. 2 vehicles can't hold everybody, so I guess we'll have to make a few more trips. I'll stay here with you, Ray. Okay. Let's hit the road. Oh. From Valics, I have returned from work. Did I miss something upsets you? Yes. Nothing fucking happened. Nice to see emotionally engaged Valics in PGR. Quite a rare sight, I wouldn't say. My constant emotion, not constant, but for a long while, my only emotional engagement with the story of this game is anger. Underfuck? Huh? The hot sauce? I have no idea what you... Alright, Grey Raven arrives at the entrance to the underground base of City 47 at midday. After leaving the commandant in the sleeping pod, they are waiting for a while before a large influx of people comes from different directions. Liv opens the base's warehouse and hands out the supplies inside to the eager crowd. Days of hunger are finally quelled for the time being. Everybody seems to be in a better mood. The evening, even the refugees who had been relocated to City 44 arrive in their cars. After an exchange of pleasantries, they go back with supplies. Somebody shows up as the moon rises. Hey, we made it. Look who it is. It's Shrek. He talks to the Grey Raven and learns that the wounded in Conservation Area 45 are being treated by Forsaken's doctor and everything is fine. In order not to deplete the supplies there, Shrek has decided to get some supplies from the underground base in City 47. As he hangs around matches, the border collie spots him and follows his motorbike to forsaken place. As dawn breaks, it is time to embark on the journey. The constructs from different squads get together in groups as ordered by the interim captain for a final confirmation and roll call in front of the airship. I'm sure you all know from the president's message that the battle on our way back to Babylonia will be a tough one. This is a voluntary mission. I don't care why you risk your lives to be part of it. I just want you to understand one thing: getting rid of the punishing virus is the only way out for humanity. This is a difficult as well as noble battle. It is a life-changing moment for us all, so we must win. There is half an hour to go before our departure. Say goodbye to your friends and get ready for the journey ahead. And then we'll win back to the future of humanity and Earth. Roger. Silence. Miles. Liv? Haven't seen that look on your face for a long time. Huh? You think I have a poker face? That's not what I meant, but you always look like you were forcing yourself to smile, and while your facial expressions looked natural, your shoulders were always tense. Maybe it's because it's a relief to finally see some hope? Matches, Stanley, Fantine, Cosette, whether they're people, animals, or constructs, I hope they are all safe and sound. Well, 2 of them are dead, by the way. Just because you're weak doesn't mean you're useless. Is that what Commandant said? That's right. Remember, the second half of the sentence was take a few parts out of you if you don't understand that, right? Take a few parts out of you if you don't understand that? I don't get it. Remembering the past, they start to laugh. Yes, I had just joined Grey Raven at the time. There was a very confident construct who snapped at a teammate, another support construct who couldn't kill the enemy as quickly as he did on a mission. Most people couldn't be bothered with things like that, and none of the other commandants stepped in. Yes, I still remember the commandant said, just because a single cog can't stand up to the enemy doesn't mean it should be left behind. I totally agree. Whether it's a human or an animal or even an insect or a bacterium, just because they seem weak doesn't mean they should be dismissed. They are all unique and irreplaceable in their own positions. Right, Liv? It's the diversity of lives on Earth that gives us hope. That's why I'm so delighted to be involved in this research and hope it will make a difference. Lucia, you'll need to take care of the people here after I leave. But remember, you and Lee must take care of yourselves first. Liv's smile is gone and she speaks very slowly. I will, I promise you. Liv nods and turns to look at the stairs before her. Those who are going with her are waiting there. Let's hit the road, Liv. Come on. Are you ready? Alright, I'm off. Have a safe trip. Liv boards the airship with Cosette and Commandant Valics. This seemingly long journey is only the beginning of hope and parting for both Liv and the other surviving human. No matter how much she wants to stay, she has to go. Yo, gameplay? Now? As a dog instead of a donkey? Yo! Earth is upside down. After a horde of corrupted ravaged the entire world? What? The hell am I right? Why am I there? What's going on? Hold up. We're gonna play the Space Invaders, bro? I love Space Invaders. Captain Olke from Mountain Vulture, I'll be the temporary commander of this secret mission. Escort mission. It is... Okay. I don't know, Valics always looks grumpy while playing PGR. I know, right? Isn't that what you wanted, IA? Isn't this like the edgy game? Makes, you know, people edgy while playing it. I'm used to it by now. Captain Olki from Mountain Vulture. I'll be the temporary commander of this escort mission. Hi Oike. This is Leigh from the Grey Raven. We've already confirmed the safety of our commandant and the protection target. Great, full speed ahead, Hopper. The future of humanity depends on this mission. We need to transport the target back to Babylonia at all costs. For the future of Earth, we swear to stick to the mission and fear no sacrifice. Stick to the mission, fear no sacrifice. Everyone, please be safe. Hello, can you hear me? I forgot to mention. Of course, somebody fucking always forgets to mention fucking something, man. You can't let me play this game. It's been 1 hour. Hopper carriers a repulsion shield recently developed to deal with the flying enemies. But Hopper is not capable of keeping it running for a long time, so you have to stay connected to keep it running. Understood. And you are? I'm Kina. I used to work on the maintenance of Hopper. We will see each other again if you can come back alive. Is she a technician with Kurono? I've never seen someone being so picky while using my stuff. How adorable. Alright, just remember to stay connected with Hopper to keep the shield powered. You guys remember Karenina? The shield will help you defend against the enemies. It features an identification friend or foe system that will detect the enemies and clear them out of itself. Now Liv is in Hopper. Please turn on the shield and activate power connection channel. Roger. I didn't do nothing. It turned on by itself. Turning on the shield. Confirm. Activating the channel. Confirm. Establishing power connection 3 to 1 connected. Punishing virus reaction detected ahead. Multiple units are approaching. Maybe it's not a gameplay section. Maybe I was wrong. We will take care of the escort mission. You are support construct. Stay in Hopper to scout enemies for us. Understood. I'll share the detection signals to everyone to adjust the formation accordingly. Red orb signifies attack formation. Blue orb signifies defense formation. The yellow orb signifies speed form. Oh, he's just talking gameplay. All out. Stop the enemies from breaking through the shield. Okay, so this is offense? No? This is defense. Oh, this is... They're telling me those are hetero creatures? No sound effects, by the way. This game has no sound effects. Most of the time. Should I? Damn, it's so slow, bro. Oh, -1. -2. Really? Able to link with any guards. I see what you're doing, game. So I guess I just have to wait a bit. More like Gladius. Like, well, for me it's kinda sad. No passion, only complaints. But I complain with a lot of passion, IA. Ba 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 bam. All I want is 22nd of January. Most funny part, he's playing through Wen and complain about it. I was promised a hack and slash game.
I'll protect everyone.
Why make this cool gameplay if your story is just a VN? Just make a fucking VN, bro.
May the stars
Can I have more of this in the story, please? Press attack. We will keep working on the escort mission. Can I hold attack? I can't. Anyway, the enemy's attack orbs are magnetized to me. So looks more like I was supposed to lose there. Remember the bike minigame during the Akidelic arc? That was cool. This is not cool. -1. -2. Look at this magnetized fucking bullets, man. Didn't we have like in Watanabe's interlude something like this, but like it was 10 times more better? Bro, how much longer, man? Holy shit, man. I said before countless times, by the way, PJR have to... Oh my god, he's repeating himself. Never saw someone kill those guys before. I would rather kill myself than those guys, Roger, I'm gonna be honest. They had this in Watanabe's interlude, and it was so much better, right? The Space Invaders bullshit. Why they made it so much worse now? I assume it's been years since then. Are we going back from the beginning? A little bit different. And I can't hold the attack button, I have to mash it. How do I finish this? We're safe now, thank god. Jesus Christ, the Hopper is almost out of power and we've got casualties as well. Not the time to give up. Have to transport those who are still alive back to Babylonia. Alright, the airship. The airship and transport escorting lever disappearing into the sky. Beneath the fiery red clouds, a girl is walking alone in the wilderness enveloped by a giant black shadow. The high concentration of the punishing virus in this area has deterred even the best equipped constructs, but it doesn't affect the girl at all. Bro, what do you want? I'm gonna check on my cat again. One and a half years. The minigame is shitty, I agree, I hope they'll never do it again. It took a lot of effort for me to become what I am now. I really want everybody to see this. But I have more important things to do right now. Make a babushka, give me the coordinates. Is this Luna? What you do will not change this catastrophe. I'll do it even if it's in vain. I don't want humanity and all those beautiful creations to perish. The girl doesn't look so carefree as she usually does. It's Nanami. Said she's firm and serious. I'll help them realize their wishes, and in exchange they'll help me too. Feels a pang of nostalgia as she looks up to the sky and waves goodbye to her home beyond the clouds. Goodbye. Don't forget Nanami. They never do it again that much, thank God. Hope this is Sage. Who's Sage? It has been 15 days since Lively returned to Babylonia. Oh really? Just like that. It is also the 15th day she has been adapting to her new frame. That's all? The peaceful facade of Babylonia would have tricked her into believing that everything has gone back to normal, if not for the obstacles and pain she has experienced throughout the adaptation. Did I fucking miss something? This was the next node, right? The constructs that return with the 1714. This is 1713, right? 1712. 1714, 1713. Huh. Sage from Sonic. Sage Machina, aka Nanami. Alright, storytellers of PGR. Go on. If not for the obstacles and pain she has experienced throughout the adaptation, the constructs that return a 7.23% of chance of survival, by the way. The constructs that return with leave either have been sent to Star of Life, are currently being treated, or have their names recorded on the casualty. Those who once gathered at Conservation Area 43 and 46 have mostly survived, but the conditions of a few of them are still critical. Apart from following the protocol to work on her adaptation, Liv has mostly spent her time in Star of Life, assisting the doctors there and looking after the patients. At least show me how she looks. She seems to have brought her habit on the surface back with her. Besides taking care of the patients, Liv will also jot down their particulars in her journal. She knows that terminals that contain non-essential information will be reset after her frame is destroyed, so she has chosen pen and paper instead. Cosette, brought to Babylonia from the surface, is also staying at Star of Life under observation. She's doing fine right now. Delica has told Liv that Cosette will be transferred to the youth center later to await adoption. Or she might stay there until she has grown up. It has been over 2 months since Valics was injured at the Puglia Forest Park ruin. I'm in a coma for 2 months. Since returning to Babylonia, the commandant has been receiving the best medical treatment possible. But the days pass by and Valics shows no sign of waking up, not even when the heavily wounded Simon has woken up from his coma and comes to visit with the medical personnel's help. All the doctors in Star of Life know full well that if Valics does not wake up soon, there might be no waking up at all. Being in a coma for over 3 months will create irreversible complications in a human body. Even if a miracle happens after 3 months, the best option the commandant has is to turn into a construct. Fuck it, let's bowl. But miracles do not just happen, not to mention that should the commandant wake up, all that awaits are the adjustable plans the parliament has planned, eagerly paving the road to the end of a hero's journey. So they gonna fuck us up? Whenever night falls and most of the patients and nurses are asleep, Liv will still be busy working in the halls of Star of Life. The only time she stops is when she receives the daily mission report from the surface, and she will take a brief rest, eased by the images of the figures in relative safety. She is a sparrow trapped in... Bro, like, I have such mixed feelings of this chapter so far. She's a sparrow trapped in an hourglass, knowing that she will soon be buried by the shifting sand, still refuses to give up on searching for a way out. As noon arrives on another busy day at Star of Life, Liv departs briefly for the Science Council. She's already ready to return and continue to help after finishing today's adaptation at the council. As long as she can offer an extra pair of hands, she can give everyone else a little breathing room. More patients can be treated. But she finds someone she has not seen for a while in Asimov's laboratory. Yo, it's Bianca. I understand the details. The specialized device you requested has been approved as well. It will arrive here tomorrow. Liv enter. Bianca simply nods at her without saying anything. I'll be going if there's nothing else. Of course. Looking at Liv, Bianca seems to have 1,000 words left unsaid in her eyes. Still, she remains silent, nodding again and bidding farewell. She has the same sprite. The fuck? It is also 15 days has been adapting to her new frame. Oh, so she's like preparing for the operation, I assume. Take care. Okay, my bad. As she watches Bianca leave the laboratory, she hears another familiar voice from the door, one she has not heard for a very long time. It's Hippocrates, and he's a woman in this game. Good afternoon. Huh? What, do you have to look like you just saw a paralyzed patient playing football? Oddly specific. My apologies, Professor. I was just surprised to see you. I heard that you left Star of Life to focus on academic research, and you're no longer teaching or practicing. You're not wrong. I applied for early retirement to concentrate on things and research that I actually care about. But in times like this, no one gets to stay on the sidelines. Oh, so here I am. He shrugs, smiling. Asimov has told me what happened to you on the surface. Broke the leg? I've also checked on the Grey Raven Commandant. Not an easy job to bring someone with a brain injury like that back in one piece. We also had an infant, by the way, just saying, Hippocrates. Don't be too hard on yourself. Choices were made and the die was cast. Die like the paint. I know what happened down there. You did your best. Hearing the words the professor used to say to comfort her students, Liv shows a hint of bitterness in her smile. Word is that you're making an extraordinary frame here. You got me curious, tell me more. Classified. I've submitted my request and signed the NDA. Here, see for yourself. She opens her terminal and shows a sim of the notice she just received. Unless you don't trust the doctor that delivered you? Does not look that old. Right as she finishes saying that, the sound of containers being knocked over and the little girl gasping can be heard from a cubicle inside. The notice just says you're allowed to join. I don't think you've agreed to do it yet. I should learn more about the project before coming to a decision, shouldn't I? Simov does not bother to argue anymore. He taps on the monitor before him and pulls up a folder for Hippocrates. See, so this is it. It's the frame that utilizes the data from an agent, isn't it? Kurono is in over their heads, trying to make an ascendant of their own. It might be powerful on the battlefield, but the frame comes with a side effect, doesn't it? It attracts the punishing virus like an actual ascendant. Like that about... It was in the snow. Anyway. Since the user of the frame cannot withstand the infection, they'll die soon after they're deployed. But attracting the punishing virus is the effect the Omega weapon needs. That's the only way it can capture the virus. But where does it send the punishing? We're still unable to explain most of it. Right now, all I can say is the Omega weapon functions more akin to a tunnel or a wormhole that pulls in the punishing virus. This frame has brought us hope precisely because it can make the punishing virus go away for real. With proper golden vortex, remember golden vortex, guys? Good times. With proper control, we can even cure the corrupted. It wouldn't have looked like this had things been going smoothly. This specialized frame cannot control the rate it draws the punishing virus. Given the current virus concentration on the surface, it is very likely that the Omega weapon cannot keep up with the amount the frame is drawing in. What will happen to the virus that the Omega weapon cannot capture? Will they just, in fact, live? Simov answers her with his silence. This is only going to give us another corrupted. If things go wrong, we might even get another ascendant. Commander Nikola agrees that we might risk turning Liv into an ascendant. That's why he has asked the Purifying Force to support the operation. Isn't Kamu also like an ascendant? The problem. I was just confirming the situation with Bianca earlier. He's bringing over some equipment tomorrow that requires specialized authorization. Equipment from the Purifying Force, a Mind Needle Probe, and an EMP Discharge Collar. Did he tell you about this? Yes, Simov and Commander Nikola told me before we started the adaptation. Do you know what those two things do? One of them monitors my mind activities and the other one can directly extinguish my mind. You signed the agreement after you'd learn about them? I did, since I don't want to become the enemy either. A hint of gloom flashes on the cheerful professor's face, but he has not voiced any disagreement. What if we retrieve Liv before the infection crosses the threshold? Even with the specialized frame, the Omega weapon cannot hold on for too long. Everything is a work in progress. We can only improve it after testing. Didn't you solve this once with the Smith boy, Chrome? Exactly. The way I solved that was by including an inhibitor so that the Ascendant data wouldn't surpass what he could handle. Aren't they just doing to leave what they already did to Lucia and Chrome? Or are they doing the same but just adding this cube? The Omega prototype in it? There are two reasons why we can't use an inhibitor this time. Drawing in the punishing virus is by default an act of surpassing the threshold. If we put a limit on that, this project wouldn't be able to do what it's meant to do. Of course, those people would come up with something like this when they consider human life simply part of the cost of their experiments. But this isn't turning a heater on and off, where our options are either hot or cold. Inhibitor or no inhibitor. There must be another way. There would be, but the specialized frame is developed from an agent's data, so its essence is similar to an ascendant. Connecting with the mind of a frame like this often means corrupting a commandant's mind beacon. After getting the data from Chrome and the fight with the Heterohive Mother, I reinforced the inhibitor on the Glory frame. Right now, his specialized frame is as stable as Arclight. Barring an unforeseen circumstances, both frames only have a 0.64% chance to deviate. But should a deviation occur, only the Grey Raven Commandant Valics can stabilize his mind. Given that Valics is still in a coma, we've lost our only guarantee. That why Corona is so obsessed with Valics? I wasn't too keen to find out the details, but it certainly seems like it. They have trouble solving the infection, and they couldn't get their hands on constructs with remarkably stable minds. Without a commandant who can withstand it, the frames they build can't be deployed, or it'll just result in the user's demise. Regretting it now, Liv, huh? Regretting it now? How do you know about Corona, Professor? A sweet young man promised I'd be interested in Valics and Project Winter, so I let him talk. Project Winter? Question mark. He said he wanted the project to continue smoothly so the frames they make could improve and stop hurting the users. That's why they need my help. Oh, how passionate young people are nowadays. Bro, you look very young. What the fuck? They should have drawn some riddles on her face. I didn't even give him an answer, and he was showering me with praise for over 10 minutes, and I thought my old researches were all but forgotten. People often ask me how I stay so young. You got me there. But no one listens when I say it's healthy diets, enough sleep, regular exercise, and staying away from cigarettes and alcohol. You got me there. Are you joining the research? Hold on, one more question. Why Liv? That was my choice. But I've heard that they were eyeing you before you applied. No one could avoid the outcome even if it weren't Liv. Save that kind of speech for someone who hasn't seen her share of death. When the number of lives isn't a factor, I'll always care for those I care about. Save that kind of speech for someone who hasn't seen her share of death. Hold up. No one could avoid the outcome even if it weren't Liv. The number of lives isn't a factor, I always care for those I care about. The most important factors we consider were mind stability and strain. We have to exclude those who have their minds damaged by a specialized frame. They would require something more stable. Among our top 3 candidates, Liv is second on the list. Oh, and who's first? Lee, who's also from Grey Raven. Still, this frame is just our first attempt. There is still a lot of uncertainty, but someone out there has been trying to suppress it. I guess they chose Liv because Lucy and Lee already have like an upgraded frame. Liv was the only one with an old frame. Someone, huh? I can hazard a guess who that is. Who knows, maybe we're talking about the same person. This frame is just our first attempt. There is still a lot of uncertainty, but someone out there has been trying to suppress it. Suppress what? The frame? What the fuck? Come on, I can hazard a guess who that is. Who knows, maybe we're talking about the same person. Were those the only things you considered? The other factor was the fact that Liv applied for the program herself. Hippocrates lets out a deep sigh, switching to a more comfortable posture on the chair. Alright, I agree to join the operation. The agent's data would have caused all kinds of issues, even from the simulated connection during adaptation. The migraine you feel would be the most obvious one, right? Yes. Right, you wouldn't have said anything if you weren't asked. Although frames aren't my specialty, I can still help when it comes to mind stability. I'll also be the attending physician of your commandant. If you can get Valics to wake up, we'll at least have a shot at tackling problems regarding the mind. Thank you, Professor. Of course, if you have any requests, now's the time. Hippocrates stops the monitor in front of Asimov and presents the design of the new frame to Liv. I'm not the one who does the modification, but the more the frame matches what you want, the better it is for you in your future battles. Looking at the pure white frame on the schematics, she is reminded of a similar piece of paper she once held in her hands. Wings. I want those wings. Whether it is Valics or the people who are still struggling, if only the Eclipse frame could fly, Liv would be able to travel over the hills and the flood, through the danger to wherever she is needed, to help those she could have saved. I need to be able to fly. There should be wings. Termination. Wow, we have 15 minutes left. What is the chat saying? If you become a construct, no more gooning though. That's what I was been telling you all this time, guys, since I started playing this game. Pairing. That's correct. Camu is a transcendent, not fully powered ascendant. Yeah, well, so far we're reading the story, and the ascendant constructs, like, it looks like they can be reasoned with, you know. Not Gabriel, Roland and Alpha could be reasoned with. What's the problem, bro? There's no why kill Liv if she becomes an ascendant, man. As far as I understand, you corrupted are the dumb infected, and ascendant are the infected that can still think, right? I'm missing some. Some users can control virus or connect to ascendant network, but that's all the difference between that and an ascendant. So who cares? I think I read the part where Alpha said like she doesn't care about the ascension network anyway. They're turning Liv to a giant virus vacuum, while Lucia and Chrome are just extra durable against virus, that's all. Damn, she got Valics twice, she got me good. Had to be someone with a good mind, so Lucia and Chrome, who had mind problems in chapters, are a no-no. Also, Lucia on this moment is the most advanced attack unit. They can't use her without a serious read. Then would be the question, why not Lee? But they said we're not gonna choose Lee because Lee already like agreed to it. But we all know why they choose and not Lee, because Liv is the only character without a new frame in this game. All right, I pray to gods this is gonna be a short one because this is the last one for today, and it's a gameplay one. Yo, Chrome. Oh boy, Chrome. Yeah, and the boys? Two blondies, bro? They see Ascendant as criminals, and you see how that court worked. The world will end before they agreed on an opinion on them. I saw how that court worked. They just listened to the ChatGPT, man. Of course they're dumb. Ascendants can use punishing virus and its net. Also, they are connected to their agent because it is the most powerful connector. Okay, they're connected to their agent, so why is Roland and Alpha not dead if Luna is missing? Like, they can be pretty, like, you know, autonomous. How is she becoming an Ascendant without an agent? They are connected to their agent because it is the most powerful connector. So I guess she won't transform into an Ascendant. She will just be a mindless corrupted anyway. Because only an agent can make a... Or she becomes an agent. Connection, all they're doing is filtering. Filtering what? The virus? Luna is missing but not dead. Not the point is like... I guess she has the option to either become an agent, and if not, she's just gonna become a mindless corrupted. Are not opening. fucking hugging the wind. It has been 15 days since the transport craft vanished into the sky. You're seeing what happened. Okay. Time is a pot that brews misery from the hunger and pain of those who have remained on the surface. After the twins were hurt, they have since changed their course, heading north once again. This time they are approaching from the plains on the east. With the south returning to momentary peace, many without shelter have started gathering at the underground base of City 47. Even with the many resources stored there, they will run out one day. Having been informed about the presence of the barrage of hetero creatures, most people want to depart the area to avoid exhausting the resources. Still, they are apprehensive about the region without construct. While everyone is at a loss, Grey Raven coordinates with the other elite squads and has Strikehawk and Cerberus meet up with them in City 47. As the two teams switch their posts with other constructs who have stayed behind. Although they have not seen each other for a while, most of the three squads are in no mood to catch up. Save a quick confirmation of each member's status and conditions. Bark in the chat, we have Vera on the right. Given the situation they are in, they can tell what each other has been through without needing to say anything. So what, like everybody's chill with Vera now, bro? Didn't they hated each other like in previous chapters? Still, one person has remained blissfully cheerful. Oh my boy. Oh yeah, two of the three Grey Ravens, how are you both doing? Are you here to say that you've been doing fine? Haha, shouldn't I be fine when I see my body is alive and well? Ugh. Who knows why Liz stops answering Kamui? Oh, they had such a good... Oh my god, remember what a good chemistry those two had, man? Good fucking times. Those times. The day after the catastrophe, Strikehawk and Cerberus were both assigned mission to escort the transport crafts traveling between the surface and Babylonia. In the beginning, the rate of successful rescue was high, with the elite squads leading the charge, but even they could not withstand the many attacks mid-flight. Although they managed to protect the personnel, they could not save the transport craft from crashing to the ground. They tried multiple times with results, and so their escort mission turned into rescue missions on the surface. At least the constructs remaining here are safe, as well as Liv, who managed to return to Babylonia. That is all they can ask for. No time to waste, let's assign the upcoming missions. Understood. Having checked everyone's status, the three captains assigned the 687 people in City 47 into 8 platoons according to their expertise. Member of Grey Raven, Cerberus and Strikehawk will form a new squad with two other constructs who have stayed behind, each squad leading a platoon to head for the different conservation area. Smaller groups, they are more capable of handling unexpected situations while reducing conflicts for scarce resources. If worst comes to worst, the loss will be minimal. With everyone's agreement, people begin to collect their belongings before waiting outside the base, ready to follow the constructs and leave. Hold on. Noctis suddenly stops everyone from proceeding, pointing at Camu, who is standing 800 meters away, reachable only through comms. Seems like one of us hasn't been assigned his duty yet. My apologies for not explaining earlier. Because of Camu's unique quality, he is not able to work with others by himself. He will be following Wanshi in the upcoming mission. There are more wounded in Wanshi's platoon. He would have been too occupied with them to fight. Camu won't enter the base, he'll be patrolling outside. Yeah. This guy, once they complete the What Mega weapon, will be able to get rid of his unique quality, won't he? Oh, I'm back, just like that? They have very shit internet. Double check. Hope I wasn't away for too long. Right, time to bark jokes. I'll get back to the chat. I gotta concentrate on this. Unique. This guy, once they complete the What Mega weapon, he'll be able to get rid of his unique quality, won't he? About that, we did talk to Kamo when we received the notice. Even if the Omega weapon is really capable of that, he has no wish to change who he is right now. Not to mention that there are still a lot of uncertainties regarding the weapon's power. Huh? Does he enjoy being excluded? Better to be excluded than to include myself with a bunch of idiots. He just wants to make sure he can still work in dead zones by himself. I remember him saying the dead zones are too dangerous for the rest of you, but someone has to do it. Shut up. Captain's platoon also has many wounded. No one's helping her. That's why I have taken in most of the armed refugees. Is everybody ready? Let's confirm the mission one more time. Our destination are the 3 neighboring cities on the west coast. If you encounter the Red Tide or a wave of hetero creatures, contact the rest of us and prepare to change course. Copy. Gotcha. Also, Vera suddenly turns to Lee with a teasing smile. Bro! Too cold. Give me 15 minutes, man. I already showed him where the food is. Let your brother know you're safe when you have the time, right? Question mark. I'd hate to be annoyed to death when I do my mission report. But his brother? Looks at Lee and tells him, let your brother know you're safe. Let's move. As everyone watches the Cerberus captain's platoon leave, they hear screaming from Lucia's comms. Help! Help! Watanabe? What's happening? Oh, that's Watanabe. Our base is the twins. Are you attacked by the twins? Gunshots and screams come through the terminal, but they do not hear Watanabe's answer. Hello, Watanabe? Watanabe? There's many wounded. Help! Even with the unstable signals and Watanabe's faltering voice, the constructs who hear his few brief words have fallen silent. Disregarding their past differences, no one here can abandon the people before them for another rescue mission. Where are you? East. 037, many heterocree, the twins, changing course out of nowhere. Why are they not showing Watanabe? DT-37 is too far away from us. We wouldn't have made it even if we go now at full speed. Help! Akdilek. Has Akdilek also joined the rescue operation? We're still being followed. Draw them away. 43. Are you asking us to meet you at the station in City 43? In 5 hours. Before he finished speaking, they hear a dog barking from the comms before the screen of the terminal turns black from an explosion. That's much as it. The situation there doesn't look good. We can't just ignore them, Cap. You're right, now is not the time to hold grudges. Let's rearrange the groups. Sure, bro, why not? Lee and I will take the 3 constructs from our squad to the station in 43. The refugees in our platoon will have to count on you guys. Too dangerous if there's only the 2 of you. Please let me come along. But I suppose you're right. Although we don't know Watanabe's situation is certain. Watanabe's situation is certain, he did mention they're still being followed. That's not a good sign. The twins were after us once, and we couldn't put any distance between us with speed alone. We've already spent the only thing that could get rid of them. We can't count on luck this time, not anymore. We need to be prepared to fight. Let me come with you as well. There are too many refugees here. The 3 of us living with our squad is the most they can afford. Although I can't let you come with us, can the 90 people in my platoon count on you? Of course, as long as I can ease your burdens a bit. Given how many injured are in the doctor's platoon, ours will have to count on the 2 of you. No problem. We'll say you owe me once, yeah? Alright, let's move everyone. Oh, gameplay?
I'll Be your wings,
Gameplay time.
Commandant. Your orders, please.
Almost the time to meet up with the other guys. Wait, the corrupted nearby are coming over. Looks like they are controlled by someone. Is it because the twins are also approaching? That voices. Watch out.
Is this all I
Oh
have?
my god. Got me.
Your orders.
He does a lot of damage.
Be my place.
I have found your weakness.
Hurry, the entrance is over there. Grey Raven. You mean in general? In general. We don't have a general.
This isn't the end.
A war can be won in an instant. Command, your orders. This will pave the path to victory!
Grey Raven. They put Grey Raven there. I like this stage, it's pretty big. And that's the art from the early chapter. Like there was a fight. Corrupted and hetero creatures are everywhere. No one can survive this. Does this live? Like that? This is... ah. I remember.
This will pave the path to victory! An excellent move, Commandant.
Yo, it's Cinderelic. The twins have left following the train. Good. They need to learn and grow on this journey. Otherwise, they would be nothing but food for the Red Tide, even with the world at their back and fit for their names. What are you expecting them to grow into exactly? Tigers that hunt or sheep that follow? The Red Tide is inevitable. If we let it grow unrestrained, it'll only bring chaos, disorder, and consequences uncontrollable. As I have mentioned many times, we need friends in the brave new world. I have no preference for whether they are predators or prey. After all, it is all a lesson to learn, a reflection of humanity. If that's the case, why did you tell Cinderelic the story about the demon who saw that humans were weak and greedy and decided to reshape the world? I also said to let her witness humanity's potential. What would happen if the demon woke up to something other than greedy adventurers? Where there is shadow, there is light. I don't dismiss the existence of light just because of the many shadows in the world. If all the twins see is how despicable humanity is, then humankind shall die to its own reflection. Should there be a speckles of light, however, the twins shall react in kind. Does that mean you still believe in some of the... All I believe in are the construct. Even if some of the humans' consciousness were fit to ascend, their bodies wouldn't survive the filtering of the punishing virus. Even if I were to feel pity, I could not make their choices for them. Ha! I suppose luck is part of the filtering process, isn't it? After all, only the lucky ones get to become constructs when they want to. The unlucky ones can only wither in their misfortune. Having said that, nothing's stopping us from trying something new. The dark figure turns around and gazes at the departing Aslam with a barely noticeable smile. Aslam is the train, right? The ones they call the twins are going after the train. They have quickly adjusted their pace, all set to challenge the colossal vehicle before them. Going back to Aslam? Oh. The sturdy moving castle shrieks, having been forced to cut its tail to escape the twins' combined attack. Alright, countless people and goods in the back are left behind along with the carriages they are in and soon swallowed by the red tide. They do not know then. Those who survive will ride to their end with Aslam. So far it was pretty good. Not enough gameplay for my test, but so far it was pretty. Not sure if it's is the right time to say what I'm thinking about it.
Are you a machine?
Oh, are
How can
you a
work
machine?
for so long? Come on, don't you want my help?
But the thing that
What?
got
You don't
me
trust me?
annoyed.
Hey, I'm the one with the shop. I've been doing this for a long
Alright,
time.
Dante. One thing that got me very annoyed was the fact that Leave did not progress in any way. So people die, right? Assist. Gather my thoughts. Finally, Valics is looking the other way. I can finally open the window. Oh my, open it. Get an interludes again? Yeah, I read that. Fully voiced story, that is promising. Let me read the chat. What did you guys say? Attendants can use punishing virus and its work, and with this connection all they are doing is... Aren't the agents the ones who filter? Ascendants can use punishing virus and its network. Also they're connected to their powerful connector. Is missing. Audit filtering candidates, testing environment. Spark jokes. I want to confess I don't like Vera as a person, but I like her only as a warrior. Train. Aslam train. So the Akdilek are no more, huh? Good cliffhanger, not gonna lie. Yeah, Liv is dumb, good intentions, but dumb. It's not that she's dumb. Not dumb, okay, she's a doctor. The chapter was starting pretty good, right? People die and shit. We got that, cause I was thinking about what I read on the previous time I read PGR, right? So we got this very long reading about the all the refugees and all the plans, right? So they made us meet a lot of refugees, and they played with us a game. We're like, look at all these people, right? They were like Gene, Stanley, the other guy, and the old people, and although they played with you a game like, hey, guess who's gonna die? Although we didn't know that yet. And then They crafted very well the situation of the two old people, Kali and her husband, and Stanley with the dog. They crafted it very good, the way they passed away. Right? It was all justified, pretty good. They wrote too many words for that to happen, but it was pretty good. And I finished it last week. And I had no I had no problems with that. That's why today's stream was called like, hey, was the chat actually right all this time? That the story is gonna get better? I was hopeful going into the stream today. Then Liv arrives, and she's basically not at fault, but she sees the kid dead, took the wings. And she cries and thinks, yes, she reacts to that. It was pretty good. But then I have problems with Fantine's death. First of all, why the fuck are you... You're like, what, 40 weeks pregnant? And you're going out for some blankets? Like, are you dumb? Send the guys, even if they don't find the things you need. You stay at home. She shouldn't went out, alright? The two old people and the kids' death was written pretty well, and I don't think it's because I had a 1 week of pause, but Fantine's death and her giving birth was pretty shitty. Was constructed bad. What do you mean you got into this new city? They don't have fucking blankets for you to sit on? Well, like, she didn't have to go out to search for like supplies, first of all. And Liv sees her death, right? And I'm like thinking like, yeah, this is where it's gonna get good. It's gonna get really good. And then what happens? Liv sees this, falls into despair, and without doing anything, well, not doing, she did remember what the commandant told her a long time ago, and she snaps back. She's, oh, okay, it's fine, you know, it's just the circle of life. So I'm like, at that point I got very angry. As you noticed, I was like, so why the fuck did I read all of that? Why did we met all these people, and why did these people die? She didn't change at all. Nothing fucking happened. Liv stayed the same. She did not progress. She did not regress. Then we get Hasan and Celica, who are like, we have this super dangerous project. You wanna participate? By the way, you're gonna die. And she says yes. I'm like, as a story, thinking it like a story constructing thingy, you know, like a crafting a story. I guess they did that. So she sees death up close and the sacrifices of the boy and the mother, who are like, yeah, we're gonna die to let this new life live. So she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm smart. So she goes, and now I'm here. All right. I was like in doubts, like, yeah, maybe this makes sense, maybe it doesn't make sense, maybe it does make sense. Now I finished for today reading, and I'm like, well, they say their first candidate was Lee, the second one was Liv. She decided to go just because she just went through this. She just saw some other people die, because I guess she saw people die in chapter 16 too. But I guess this Stanley and the Fantine were like affected her a little bit more that she had to like drop some tears and remember what the commandant said to her a long time ago, so she can like recover pretty quick without doing any character progression. So this made her say, yes, I'm gonna join. And now I'm sitting here like, okay, what are the chances that Liv would say no if she didn't go through the death of Stanley or Fantine? I'm sitting now and thinking the whole part of the first part of chapter 17 is sitting on a thin line of being not important, not necessary. It didn't do nothing so far. But this is just my early thoughts, alright? It might change. I can continue reading like the second part of chapter 17, and maybe something will happen that will make that will get us back to those people. So we'll see. So far it's chapter is on the edge of being as bad as the previous ones. Except chapter 13. Like so far chapter 13 was the best. To be real. Agents are a filter. Ascendant do HR stuff. Pregnant and dumb sometimes are too true. Pregnant woman part was too bit to me too. Liv was worried about the child. This was the key. To save the child and brought it to Babylonia. Talking about. Once we are done, we can have a good final thoughts. Or they were in the middle, but praying in Doomsday. Here's the part 2. Oh yeah, we're 42%. We are in the middle. And if you guys said it doesn't have like hidden nodes, probably 2 more streams. We'll see. And that was my unhinged opinion on this chapter so far. It's on the edge. It's on. I was hopeful the last time, first time when I started reading. Now it's like yeah, I'm doubtful. You know, I'm doing the 6-7 part with my hands right now. You know, that it is. So I'm gonna go eat what my cat wants. I'm gonna go have a talk with him, explain him why he shouldn't open the window in the winter. And see you next time. Not sure if it's gonna be tomorrow, but maybe on Thursday. Do some more DZZ. Maybe if I'll have time on the weekend, I'll come back to read the rest of chapter 17. Pretty fairly intriguing, let's say. So yeah, have a great evening, everybody. No music reaction today. I don't know why I'm super tired, even though I slept enough. Yeah, go rest, because resting is productive. Bye bye, and thanks for coming by.